dating back to the first quarter. 18-9 lead now for the Crusaders in the half court. Pulling up again from distance is Robinson. He provided an offensive spark off the bench. Good hustle by BC, saving possession. Julian Brown now having it with 6:35 left to go here in the second quarter of play. Directing traffic. Lefty dribble to Flournoy. 3 in the corner. Got it! Elijah Flournoy from downtown. BC's lead grows to 21-9 with 6:22 and counting left to go here in the first half.
Yeah, the keys to both these runs, the 6-0 run from Immaculate Conception to start the game, and this amazing run by Bergen Catholic in the last quarter and a half has been the offensive glass. Second opportunities, whether it be Kyle Hamilton and Julian Brown following their own shots, or Bergen Catholic in the beginning of the game not being able to out-rebound Nick Thomas.
Here's a jump shot, no good, off the mark by Tavian Pollock. Rebounded, secured by Flournoy. Outlets it to Will Richardson, and he is tied up there near midcourt. And is that going to be an intentional foul given by Donta Davis? As Will Richardson was looking at the official for that as well, because that was blatantly, would have been making Coach Vito Campanelli proud, a tackle in the open field.
Yeah, I think Coach Armstrong was maybe looking for a clear path, as, you know, Jelly Will is one of the fastest players in the county, and in the state for that matter, as you see there.
Richardson trying to do a little too much with it, left it short at the rim. This leads the transition the other way, and Immaculate Conception finally breaks through and gets the bucket there by Donta Davis. 21-11 lead now for Bergen Catholic. 5:25 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, if you want to talk one of the best guards in Bergen County, as number 13, Kyle Robinson just lays it up and in, and then deflects the inbound pass. Wow, what a play. But if you want to talk best players in the state, best players in North New Jersey, you got to talk Will Richardson. This 6'2" junior is an amazing combo guard, can play both sides of the ball and both guard positions, whether it be point, handling the offense, or shoot, just go down and score.
The amazing thing, though, David, is Will Richardson has only 2 points in this game, and that has not fazed BC at all, leading by 12, 23-11. And a big performance so far in this game. 7 points off the bench by Kyle Robinson. On the baseline now, it's Thomas, watched by Duncan, who's going to have to play a lot of minutes with Copeland being in foul trouble. You hear the Bergen Catholic faithful behind the bench, part of the team, cheering on their defense. Ziegler having a very tough time finding some space. He now gets it here with the clock dribbling down to 4:45 and counting left to go in the second quarter. Davis had the last bucket in this game for Immaculate Conception. Tries to hand it off, and now a foul is going to be whistled against Richardson from behind as he was draped over Jaden Brown. That'll stop the clock and send Immaculate Conception to the foul line, shooting 1-1.
Now, the situation with the shot clock in the New Jersey State Basketball Association really is going to impact this game with possessions. Wouldn't you say, Dan?
I would absolutely say that, where it's going to be a situation where you're going to see a lot of the changes, and it's going to be a case of trying to make the adjustments on the fly for the teams as the referees are coming together and talking about something here. Again, it's 23-11 Bergen Catholic's lead with 4:37 left to go in the second quarter.
It's almost an eerie feeling here in Hell Gymnasium when you can hear a pin drop.
It is. Like we were saying, it's more of an approach, almost like calling a golf match where you're at the Masters and you have to be quiet if someone's on the green setting up their shot. So the referees talked with one another and kind of going away from the protocol that we were kind of mentioning before the broadcast, that the referees are not supposed to be touching the ball.
I mean, I think that's just habit for them at this point. It's going to be hard for everybody to adjust to the COVID protocols. As we see, the Lions are wearing masks, the COVID masks, throughout the entire game, a symbol of unity and respect for, the global pandemic going on, and the Crusaders are not. And, not to knock the Crusaders at all, but, that might be a factor coming late in this game if, BC has more energy than the Lions.
So Brown goes 1 of 2 at the line, and Caggiano tries to unleash the 3 in the corner, deflected off of BC underneath the basket out of bounds. So possession will go over to Immaculate Conception with 4:29 remaining here in the first half of play. 23-12 lead. And BC's full court pressure really speeding up the Lions and forcing a turnover out of bounds. It'll be possession for Bergen Catholic.
Yeah, the Lions are trying to play too fast. They're trying to get back in this game when in reality they have 2.5 quarters and the entire second half to play. You got to take it fast and dissect the full court press defense slowly.
Here's Scrivenich for three, no good. Duncan trying to chase after it, got bodied up a little bit, and that prevented him from securing the offensive rebound. Will go out of bounds and will be possession for Immaculate Conception. Coach Armstrong barking out the full court pressure instructions for his defense. BC has to be careful and not foul and send Immaculate Conception to the line for some gimmies. Good contest there by Duncan inside, but then he's going to be called for the travel as he fell down and tried to move with the ball. But good hustle nonetheless by the senior 6'9" big man. There'll be an inbounds for Immaculate Conception coming up underneath the basket as Richardson comes back into the game, and he'll spell his teammate and running mate in Julian Brown, and will take a seat. With 4:04 remaining here in the first half of play, BC on top by 11, 23-12.
When you talk about top guard combos in the state of New Jersey, maybe even the entire country, you got to think Julian Brown and Will Richardson. Both future D1 players, both 17-plus point per game scorers, with Julian Brown averaging 17.2 and Will Richardson 20.2 last season. Both named to All-County and All-Conference. You know, it's just explosion coming from the backcourt of Bergen Catholic.
Still again, Bergen Catholic with great defense deflecting that last shot out of bounds, but possession staying here with IC. Off the dribble, nice lefty finish there by Jaden Brown. Brown solving the BC defense. It's back to single-digit lead for BC at 23-14.
Yeah, Brown with the opening three of this game. Also with the steal there. Turnover. But
BC
Brown
nearly turned it over, David, and we're recipients of the ball. And then a foul drawn by Scrivenich, who went hard to the rim himself. Richardson's initial pass was deflected, and then the hustle of Elijah Flournoy got the possession back for BC and eventually led to a layup attempt by Joe Scrivenich.
Yeah, Joe Scrivenich has been on this team all years of his Bergen Catholic career, now a junior, and he's really going to have a big role in this upcoming season.
Misses the first foul shot a little too strong as Robinson checking back in for Flournoy. Coach Armstrong thinking that Scrivenich has been one of the best players and the most developed player over the summer. He's going to be seeing plenty of minutes as maybe this team's sixth man and is worthy of starting probably anywhere else in the county. As he goes 1 of 2 at the line and extends the lead for BC back to 10.
And that's the beauty of this Bergen Catholic team. He has so many players coming off the bench that could be starting and would be starting at many other, very good basketball schools.
That time, Ziegler drove to the lane, and it looked like he got blocked cleanly by Duncan, but a foul was whistled before that in the act of shooting, so that will send Ziegler to the line shooting 2 with its clock stopped with 3:23 remaining, and Bergen Catholic's lead at 24-14.
And we're seeing the line slowly start to creep back in this game, but whether it be point by point, layup by layup, it's coming slowly, but it's coming after all.
As Ziegler knocks down his third made foul shot of the game, he has 3 points. Far removed from his 31-point explosion against these Crusaders a season ago, where he knocked down 6 triples in the onslaught. So he goes again at the foul line, perfect at the line. 4 for 4, 24-16 lead for Richardson and BC. He gets hacked from behind, only the 6th-team foul against Immaculate Conception. So the next foul against the Lions would send Bergen Catholic to the line, shooting at least 1-1.
Yeah, I see now deploying some sort of a full court pressure there, whether, as you can see, 2-man focus on Will Richardson there, but Will Richardson is one of the fastest players in the state, and they just can't do that all the time.
Robinson outlets it over to Scrivenich, short on the 3. Robinson gets the offensive rebound inside, short on the layup. Duncan stripped on his way up. Scrivenich recovers the basketball. Now trying to get it out to Richardson, and it looks like it was last touch off of BC. Looked like it might have touched off of Dante Davis last, but the referee makes the call and gives possession over to the visitors.
And that's a hard call, as, great offensive rebound by Joe Scrivenich, and then, just almost an errant pass, but you can't really blame him as they're playing fast and trying to get a score on that possession there.
So slowly but surely, like you mentioned, David, Immaculate Conception trying to claw back into this game. A big reason why? Getting to the foul line. Can they do something here in the half court? They draw another foul against BC, and once again will head to the charity stripe, stopping the clock and trying to pull closer before halftime.
Yeah, BC's got to, stop getting so much contact on these guards. They're all future Division I players, all great scorers. They can get to the rack. If BC isn't careful, they could have their bigs or even their guards foul out and be depleted. As you said, Bergen Catholic does have great depth, but you obviously want your stars in there when it's crunch time.
So they knock down 2 at the foul line. Jaden Brown again. He now has 6 points here in the first half, and Bergen Catholic's lead down to 6, 24-18. Richardson splits the double team, leaves the layup a little short. Duncan with a follow inside for the offensive putback. Duncan has really been dominating down low, and it looks like an injury also suffered at the tail end of the play with Nick Thomas. A little worse for wear after Duncan carved out space inside, and the 6'9 senior finished up the missed layup by Richardson. 26-18 lead with 2.5 minutes left to go here in the second quarter of play in Ordell.
Yeah, you see over there, number 35, Nick Thomas, the 6'6 forward, future D1 player, offers from, several mid-major schools, but, we wonder if his left shoulder, as he was grabbing it, is going to be okay, as he's one of their best, he is their best big man, and he's going to have to be a big part of this game if Immaculate Conception wants to have an inside presence against the Crusaders.
Good defensive play there. The help defense by Diari Duncan denying Donta Davis. Now they're trying to feed Duncan down low. He's guarded by South. Has the size advantage. Kisses it off the glass and in. Diari Duncan with 6 points in the first half. And a timeout taken by head coach Jimmy Salmon and Immaculate Conception as the lead is back to double digits, 28-18. With 1:55 remaining here in the second quarter of play. Diari Duncan had a season-high 12 points against Immaculate Conception a season ago, and he's picking up where he left off, David. 6 points here, a lot of it the hustle plays inside after missed shots. That time it was a nice finish on a post move.
Yeah, you see Will Richardson, he knows to get the ball to the hot hand. Duncan's been great this evening off the bench, and he was just able to get right in there. 3 men in the paint, but just floated up off the glass and in. Duncan's going to be a big part of the Crusaders this season. Had a good season last year, but is going to have an even bigger role as one of the Crusaders' tallest players, and is going to be a big scorer and rebounder off the bench.
If you're just joining us, fans, Elliot Cadeau as well as Terry Copeland, 2 freshmen who got the nod in the starting lineups here tonight. They're both saddled with foul difficulties, so they've been sitting for the majority of this first half. But the Bergen Catholic the depth has really shown its full force here today, as we have seen Bergen Catholic go deep into their bench, play at least 10 different players, and take a 10-point lead with them here into the final 2 minutes of the first half. Full court pressure once again, trying to speed up Immaculate Conception so they can't get comfortable in the half court here. Davis, hesitation, reverse layup, no good. Switch from the right to the left hand, and that cost him the layup attempt. Here's Richardson trying to get going here for BC, the leading scorer from a season ago. Only 2 points, yet BC still leads by 10. Duncan inside, a lot of contact, no good. And the rebound goes into the hands of DeAndre South with 1:23 left to go in the first half.
You speak of the depth for BC, but they're missing sophomore. You may know him for playing football for Coach Vito. They're missing 6'6 sophomore forward center, Sadir Mitchell. He's dealing with problems with his shoulder, but he should be back hopefully later this season. And number 2, we talk about the depth of the Crusaders, but, Immaculate Conception is very deep as well, not only having 2 seniors coming off the bench and being a very long team grabbing the glass on the defensive side of the ball.
Jaden Brown leaves his first foul shot attempt short. Brown, who's the leading scorer from a season ago, 11.4 points a game for the Immaculate Conception Lions, had 21 points, 6 assists in the win against BC last January.
What scares me about New Jersey basketball, these 2 teams in particular, is you can get scored on for 20 points by any of the players on the court at any given moment, whether it be, Jaden Brown or Dante Davis or even Zyke Ziegler for the Lions. They can both drop 20, 30 a night if you're not careful.
Here's Richardson in the baseline jumper, a little too short, trying to force things here. Now it's a chance for Immaculate Conception, but a mishandle on the dribble cost that potential fast break. Good active hands by Brown, strips the player. Now it's going to be Brown getting it back the other way. The layup is good for Julian Brown. Defense leads to offense. BC with an 11-point lead.
And this defense for the Crusaders has been, I've said it and I'm going to say it again, unbelievable. The full court press, the ball awareness for the Crusaders, being able to strip the Lions at any given moment, whether it be in the paint or outside, guard on guard.
That time, again, dribbling into harm's way was Jaden Brown, but it gets bailed out as Coach Armstrong was willing, just trying to get his team to sacrifice the body for an offensive foul, but Flanoy gets called for the foul because he was trying to go for the block shot instead. That's going to be his second personal foul. Double bonus the rest of the way for Immaculate Conception, who again have gotten a majority of their points at the foul line here in the first half, keeping within striking distance as Brown nets another point here. 30-20 game now with 29.2 seconds left to go in the second quarter. He rattles in a pair, back to only a 9-point spread for BC.
Yeah.
As Richardson and Bergen Catholic slowly meander into the offensive side of the hardwood. You have to think that BC, David, maybe keeping it for one final shot of the half?
Yeah, I would say that. They got a four-guard lineup, but they have Flournoy and, the center Duncan down. You see Espinosa in the corner, and Brown looks like he might want to take the shot up top.
There's Brown right down Broadway, just misses the layup, though. 2 seconds left. Immaculate Conception, can they beat the buzzer? The shot was up, and they're going to count it. Coach Billy Armstrong is incredulous. It looked like the shot was in the air, but would not have been really a good shot. Now the referees are going to confer with one another. Again, if we're just basing it off of did he get it out of his hands in time, I don't think he did, but they're going to talk, and the referees are going to consult with one another and say that the bucket counts, and that's how we end the first half of play with BC on top, 30-23, David.
Now, Dan, do the referees, I believe they have the power to overturn that call, but I don't think they're going to. I think, they're going to let it stand, and it's going to go in 30-23 at half with the Crusaders leading by 7. But that's a big chunk of momentum back for the Lions to end that second quarter.
The referees consulted with one another, did not overturn the call, so the bucket stands 30-23 lead for BC at the half. Tune in after this 10-minute break for the start of the second half here from Hale Gym in Ordell. Welcome back, everybody, to Hale Gym here at Chris Donfield Court on the campus of Bergen Catholic High School, where we're at halftime. Bergen Catholic on top of Immaculate Conception 30-23. Dan Long, David Poley, happy that you could join us here. We apologize for any technical difficulties that might have been the case during the first half of play. It's our first game of the season as well, so we're sorting out everything here at Bergen Catholic High School, and hopefully we'll have no problems here to bring you the start of the second half. If you're just joining us then, the story for Bergen Catholic was they started off slowly. They were down 8-2, then went on a 16-0 run that went into the beginning part of the second quarter, took a double-digit lead. Really, the story for this game, though, what has kept Immaculate Conception in this one on the road has been their ability to draw fouls against BC, get to the foul line for easy ones to stop the clock, and that's what's made this only a 7-point lead for the Crusaders at halftime. But still, a lot of great things to talk about, and also to talk about other things, here's my broadcast partner, David Poley, as he has a couple of things that he wants to get off his chest.
Yeah, first to start off, we're really excited, and we apologize for any technical difficulties. New YouTube link is up on SSP highlights on YouTube. Go check it out, and if you're here, hello. And second of all, we just want to give a shout out to everything that made this basketball season popular. Obviously the NJSIAA, obviously the new rules in place so we can all be safe, and shout out to the people at Bergen Catholic here that make it possible for me and Dan to come and for Dan to come back to his alumni high school, and for me to express myself at Bergen Catholic. Just a shout out to President Dr. Brian Mahoney, who's done a great job not only with the stadium but with giving Billy Donovan range of control to make this team what it is, one of the most talented in New Jersey. Also want to give a shout out to the Associate Athletic Directors Brendan McGovern and Joseph Hammerly, doing a great job getting all these guys on the court and arranging between the Lions and the Crusaders.
We also like to thank Trap Hagen CPAs and Wealth Advisors, proud sponsors of Bergen Catholic Basketball. For more information, visit tfgllc.com. That's TFGLLC for more information. So BC again up by 7, 30-23. Have not really been getting all that much production from their leading scorers from a season ago, Will Richardson and Julian Brown. David, it's been a story of Kyle Robinson, who's one of the junior transfers coming into Bergen Catholic. What a great start to his BC career. 7 quick points off the bench, and BC's active defense turning Immaculate Conception over. That's really what gave BC the lead there in the first half.
Yeah, 7 points off the bench, not to mention 3 offensive rebounds as well. Kyle Robinson has been great, along with other fresh faces for the Crusaders. You look at, senior Nick Caggiano coming off the bench and providing a spark at the guard position. He's been here all 4 years and now is getting his time to shine. You also look at Joe Scrivenich, the 6'4 junior, looking to score a lot off of the bench. But, the depth for the Crusaders has definitely helped them, as stars Will Richardson and Julian Brown haven't been as active as they were a season ago tonight. But, of course, they have a whole season to change that. And right now, they're just worried on bettering their team in this hopeful, promising win against the Immaculate Conception Lions.
Elliot Cadeau had a great start to this game. 5 quick unanswered points to get Bergen Catholic out of that early hole, but he picked up 3 personal fouls in the first half, so we did not see much of the new point guard for BC. Terry Copeland also was saddled with a pair of fouls in the early going. But again, Bergen Catholic, if they get back to what works for them, they should be able to mount a nice charge here to begin the second half of play. But Immaculate Conception fans, this is a matchup of top 10 teams in New Jersey. Immaculate Conception coming off a 21-7 season a season ago. They were a 9-1 record in league play in the Super Essex Conference. They won their first ever Essex County Championship. So this is no slouching of opponent, a very tough opponent for BC to open up a season with. And we're seeing 2 top 10 teams squaring off. We'll see the adjustments made by Coach Salmon and by Coach Armstrong before we start this second half of play. Immaculate Conception, the roadside, they are in their navy uniforms with white numerals. Bergen Catholic in their white uniforms with Crusaders written in red, outlined in gold. So it's going to be the starting 5 back on the floor for BC in Brown, Richardson, Cadeau, Copeland, and Flournoy. And for Coach Salmon, it's also their starting 5 of South, Davis, Ziegler, Brown, and just Nick Thomas coming back into the game. Good to see that after he was banged up in a play late in the second quarter. So going from left to right, it's going to be a toss down side to Thomas. Juggles it a bit, and now throws it away to Brown. Brown in the passing lane. Forces the turnover for BC. Goes through the lane, tries to bank it in. Gets fouled in the act of shooting. And that should give Brown the opportunity to at least get 2 at the foul line.
Yeah, Brown with the contact. Almost finished that, but just a little too strong. But Julian Brown has improved tremendously on the defensive side of the ball since he was coming off the bench as a 6th man as a freshman. Now as a junior, he's able to play defense. You know, he's been the key to this full court pressing defense for the Crusaders, playing face up on the best guards Immaculate Conception has to offer.
Brown had 21 points in that loss a season ago against Immaculate Conception. He is a fire starter on offense at a season-high 32 points in a win on the road against St. Joe's. And he is somebody that also put up a ton of points overall in the season. 459 points a season ago. He rattles in the second one. Bergen Catholic grows their lead back to 9, 32-23, as we're coming up on 30 seconds gone by here to begin the second half.
Yeah, you have 2 guards, Will Richardson and Julian Brown, averaging a collective 38 points per game last season. For high school, that's no joke, as we see Immaculate Conception with the quick bucket. Brown downtown.
And now inside for Copeland. Copeland forced out of an easy shot attempt and now misses it. Ziegler trying to go back-to-back buckets. He hit it on the right side, now lays it up and in on the left side. And here's a run for Immaculate Conception. Lead is down to 5, back up to 7 with a transition bucket by Julian Brown. Here comes the tempo. Cadeau with the steal. No look pass to Richardson in the corner. Gets Thomas in the air. Richardson sails to the cup. And quickly in the blink of an eye, BC's lead back to 9.
Wow, what a crazy run by both teams there. The Lions having a bit of momentum coming off of that last-second basket. Questionable call, but last-second basket that did count. And they come off strong with a 4-2 run to open it up, but the Crusaders right back with a 5-0 run of their own.
Good job by Flournoy, holding his ground and forcing the missed shot there by Ziegler. Back to Flournoy, over to the near side corner. Brown, plenty of time to set and fire, maybe too much time as he misses. Thomas with a rebound, gets it outletted to Jaden Brown. Brown past the white-clad defense of BC in for the layup. 36-29 lead now for the Crusaders with 6:12 left to go in the third quarter of play.
Yeah, it seems like the Lions are rejuvenized, playing like the game just started. They're playing faster than I've seen them play this entire game. As we see a Will Richardson post up and
gets
shot.
The shooter's roll to fall there for Richardson. 2 quick buckets here in the second half of play after only being limited to 1 bucket in the first half. Ziegler, you can see, David, what Immaculate Conception's trying to do. They're trying to beat the BC defense down the floor, because when they have to set up here in the 5-on-5, it has been tough sledding. As I say that, Cadeau picks the pocket and lays it up and in. Stolen right out of the hands of Donta Davis. Cadeau with the thievery. 40-29 lead now for BC. Ziegler lulls the defense in. Elbow jumper from 15 is good by Jaden Brown. Quickly a timeout taken by head coach Jimmy Salmon. That'll freeze the clock with 5:23 left to go here in the third. Bergen Catholic's lead at 9, 40-31, as you're watching Bergen Catholic's season opener here at home in Oradell against Immaculate Conception. And David, this game was initially supposed to be played last night on the campus of Mount St. Dominic Academy in Caldwell, the quasi-home site for Immaculate Conception. But due to the weather, it was moved 1 day later and here to the cozy confines of Hale Gym in Oradell. And we're happy to see that, as Bergen Catholic's going to be playing 8 more times here this year at home. And those games are going to be found on the local live broadcast network, as we'll be using SSP on the road this season when we're allowed to.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm excited, and the Crusaders are extremely excited to have home field advantage for this very important game against a very formidable opponent to start the season. And the Crusaders have looked really good. We're back to where we started at the beginning of the second half, with the Crusaders having a 9-point lead. And, you know, it's been a game of runs, you know, shooting streaks from either team, teams getting to the line. And right now, the Crusaders are firmly trying to coast and stay in control steadily with this 9-point lead.
BC outscored Immaculate Conception 16-8 after the first quarter of play. Immaculate Conception, with that late bucket that was granted to them, outscored the Crusaders 15-14 in the second quarter. Now Cadeau working. Oh, a whirling dervish, splitting the seas like Moses. as Cadeau lays it up and in. 42-31 lead for BC, coming up on 3 minutes gone by here in the third.
And that's why he's starting as a freshman. That's why he has offers from TCU as we see him pick up the foul, or maybe it's Duncan on the other side. But that's why he is playing and he is going where he is going.
And that's a tough call there, David, because Cadeau is charged with a foul. That is his fourth personal foul with 5:01 left to go in the third quarter. So despite the explosion of offense in the last couple of seconds by Cadeau, he's going to be pinned to the pine for quite some time.
I don't think we see Cadeau until the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. As that ball was tipped out of bounds, last touch off of the hands of Donta Davis. And that's going to be a turnover for Mac Conception. Jimmy Salmon was trying to argue for a jump ball situation because the referees couldn't see initially, but from our vantage point high atop the playing surface here, that was clearly a turnover for IC. Richardson just hasn't had that usual touch on his jump shot here tonight. Leaves it short. Transition three, no good. That's tipped out of bounds. Last touch off of Diari Duncan out of bounds. So he'll stay here with the Mac Conception with 4:42 remaining in the third, an 11-point lead for the Crusaders.
And Jimmy Salmon really getting after his team, as you can see him yelling on the sideline. His team really has to get something going in this third quarter, as you know they were known last year as a third quarter team, and that's really what they're going to need tonight to stay in this game.
Davis being watched by Robinson. Now they get it into the corner. Pump fake. Initially it was going to be a three-point attempt. No good by Pollock. Good defense there by Duncan. Here's Robinson. Open for three. Testing the waters. No good. Another miss for BC. Almost followed up by Robinson. Here's the outlet pass. A little too long. That's going to be another turnover for Immaculate Conception again. As you can see there, if they could find a way to run and go against a BC defense that's not set, they're going to try that. That led to the turnover there.
And that, they're going to try it, and it really hasn't been working all night. They're trying to play too fast and trying, maybe this isn't football, guys. They're playing over the top with court-to-court cross passes as the turnover here.
As they go the other way, contact and one with Jaden Brown doing the flexing after the finish. That time, Richardson didn't see the defender coming from his blind side, picked his pocket, led for the transition bucket the other way, and Brown drew the contact and the foul, and a chance at a traditional three-point play with 4 minutes left to go here in the third. A 42-33 lead for Bergen Catholic.
And this is what's been working for the Lions all night long. Getting to the basket, drawing contact, and making their foul shots. They've been shooting pretty good, over 70% from the line tonight, as, maybe I jinxed it.
There's the announcer jinx. Welcome to the business, David. As that is always something you dread as an announcer, and a timeout taken by Coach Armstrong with 3:54 remaining here in the third. But as you were saying, that's been a weapon in the arsenal of Immaculate Conception here tonight, getting to the foul line, stopping the clock, making the most out of their situations. For BC, they've been playing great defense, but they also have to know that they have to keep their hand out of the cookie jar, not get called for the reach-in fouls.
Yeah, they might lose some players a lot earlier than they want them to, as we're probably not going to see Elliot Cadeau until the fourth quarter, as he already has 4 fouls, and that's a huge loss for the Crusaders, as this freshman has been fantastic today. But really, what IC needs to do to get back in this game is slow the tempo and do what they've been doing the best. Get to the line, get to the rim. And BC, just, with this face-up, full-press defense, has been very good. But IC's trying to, attack the full-press defense, which hasn't been working at all. They're trying to throw it over and play way too fast, which is not to their strong suit. They need to slow it down and get the ball inside to their guards or the big man, Thomas.
Bergen Catholic in the whites, Immaculate Conception in the blue. This is the season opener for both teams. BC ranked number 6 in New Jersey. Immaculate Conception coming in ranked number 7 overall. And this is the start of the 64th season of Bergen Catholic Crusader basketball, and the heights that Coach Billy Armstrong has taken his alma mater back to. Again, they won a state championship 2 seasons ago. We're about to play for another state title a season ago before the pandemic reared its head and stopped play. This is a team that is highly thought of, and is scary to think of how young they are as they get back to things here with mostly underclassmen. Here's Robinson for 3, out of the timeout, no good. Trying to fight for the loose ball, strong south comes underneath it. Ziegler to the rim, lays it up and in. And now the lead cut down to 7 again, where we were at the start of the third quarter, 42-35, BC on top.
Now we see the Lions employing a 2-3 zone with their big guard and Zyke Zickler and Dante Davis up at the top. Now going back to a man-to-man. I think they might be going back to a zone. I don't know. This defense looks like it might be a problem for the Crusaders.
Over to Brown to the near side. Three-point line extended. South watching him. Dropping it down low to Flournoy. Flournoy picks up the dribble. Double team. Spins to him. Up and under move. Little too long. Duncan gets a tap onto it. Gets it to Richardson. Pulls up for the jumper on the baseline. No good. Put back by Richardson. No good. And South corrals the rebound. So a lid on the rim right now for Richardson and the Crusaders. 2:45 left to go here in the third quarter. 42-35 BC on top. They've led throughout this game after falling behind early 8-2. Largest lead of the game was 6 for Immaculate Conception in those early goings. Here's Ziegler, pull-up jumper in the lane, no good. Fights for the loose ball out of the hands of Robinson, and he gets the second possession. Dumping it down low, back to Ziegler, open for three. Got it! A huge three there, and now the lead is cut to 4, 42-38, and momentum shifting sides now to the visitors.
And now this is what the Lions want to do. They've slowed this game down, and the Crusaders, you know, they've also been fortunate that the Crusaders have been shooting the basketball poorly in this third quarter.
There's Richardson with a huge comeback play, and a response after the Ziegler three knocks down the triple of his own.
Maybe that's a reverse announcer jinx. I don't know.
We'll take it. A lot of contact again, maneuvering through the full court defense. Ziegler, the rainmaker, falls again. Watch out if he gets hot again. He struck for 6 three-pointers made against BC a season ago. Back to a 4-point lead, 45-41. Coming up on 1:35 remaining in the third quarter here in Ordell.
Yeah, we see Robinson on the left wing, drives in, but he wants to get it out. And BC, they're settling for threes when they need to drill this clock as another one goes up.
This time Richardson off the mark. Ziegler with their own rebound, outlets it down the floor. Had a wide open man in DeAndre South, and another time that the long ball pass off the mark. BC benefits there because that would have been an easy layup. It would have made this only a 2-point lead for the Crusaders.
Yeah, I don't know that the Lions, you know, they have it going. They're playing slow and they're getting it going, and then they, you know, think it's football, and then they throw the pass down court, and it kind of kills their momentum. Now it gives Bergen the chance to build up their lead again.
Interesting call here, David, by Coach Armstrong. He's bringing Elliot Cadeau back in this game with 1:15 remaining in the third quarter. He has 4 personal fouls. That's how much trust you already have in your freshman point guard. be a turnover for Immaculate Conception with 5:35 left to go here in the fourth. Robinson will inbound it and give it over to Will Richardson. Here in the fourth quarter, Bergen Catholic trying to slow it down a little bit. Run this half-court spread look. Richardson taking his man off the dribble, lays it up, gets fouled in the act of shooting. As Richardson made it look so easy cutting through the heart of the defense. And will earn a chance for two at the charity stripe. 5:17 left to go here in the fourth.
Great free-throw shooter, great scorer in all aspects of the rim handle. He has to come behind the three-point line or in the paint. He's going to be great for whatever college he starts, whether that be Vanderbilt, Xavier, Wichita State, Texas A&M, St. John's, TCU. I can basically name the entirety of Division I for the team.
Richardson, Comley, and Cooley nets a pair at the foul line. 54-46 lead for BC. BC, can they get back to that swarming defense without fouling? Going right into the heart of Diari Duncan, who held his ground. No offensive foul, no defensive foul. Robinson tried to outlet it down low to Copeland. Good recovery defense by DeAndre South. A great job at the other end of the floor by Bergen Catholic of not falling victim to trying to block every shot, holding their ground, and not surrendering another foul that'll get Immaculate Conception to the line.
And that's just fine, off the court and off the experience in the whole gymnasium. On Chris Doctor's court, this is thanks to President Ryan Mahoney and the great work he's done in his 2 years here, transforming Bergen Catholic, not only as a team, school establishment, but bringing the best athletics on and off the court.
Lanoy picks up the dribble, gives it over to Diari Duncan. Duncan looking for an outlet, finds Lanoy to the near side. Gets it over to Julian Brown. Brown with 4:38 left to go in regulation. Brown goes through the middle, kicks it out to Lanoy. Fumbles the catch. Still has possession though. Outlets it to the far side to Cadeau. Cadeau takes his man off the dribble into the lane, missing the layup. Out to Richardson in space. Richardson down the lane, lays it in. Second and third opportunities for BC has extended the Crusader lead to 10, 56-46.
That's been the story all night. Second and third opportunities for both teams. And as
Ziegler misses the gimme on the other end, and the flush finish on this end for BC. David, it looks like those legs might be wearing down on Immaculate Conception's side as the lead is grown to 12 and a timeout taken on the floor.
Wow, the first three quarters, we didn't see much of Will Richardson, but I think I see him pretty clearly now. The junior 6'2" guard is really showing why he's one of the best players in the entire state of New Jersey, let alone the country.
So Bergen Catholic has recaptured the advantage, and with it a 12-point lead, 58-46. With just over 4 minutes left to go here in regulation. Bergen Catholic has been saddled with foul difficulties here in their season opener, as Cadeau has been playing with 4 fouls since the last minute of the third quarter. But BC has still fought back. It's been that half-court defense that has been so effective, David, for BC and Coach Armstrong. It's when Immaculate Conception has had the ability to get out on the open floor and run that's led to those opportunities for Ziegler and company to get layups rather than to work it around the 5-on-5. And really, the three-point shot has not been in the arsenal this year for Immaculate Conception against BC. But still, plenty of time remaining in this one to think that this one is anywhere close to being done.
Yeah, the speed and athleticism of both teams is just, phenomenal here. And we see, with the speed and athleticism, the Crusaders, are 13 points in this fourth quarter, while, the Lions only have 3. So that's a pretty big margin in this fourth quarter, with the Crusaders slowly, and even more slowly, pulling away, bit by bit. When I saw the scoreboard, I didn't think it was a 12-point lead for the Crusaders. But, the Crusaders have this 12-point lead, and they're trying to keep things under control to maybe, try to have an undefeated season here in 2021. As we see Ziegler handing the ball up court.
As now it's going to go to Brown. Brown trying to dribble across the trees, and then he gets hit inside. And once again, that's what Bergen Catholic has to worry about. Don't foul the shooter inside. They're trying to draw out the contact. And that's kind of what Julian Brown and Elijah Lanoy are trying to say to their teammate, Diari Duncan. Don't fall for the head and shoulders hits.
let them shoot it. Just put your arms up in the air. This is the only way that Immaculate Conception can feel confident in getting back in this game, just as they did in the third quarter. Stop the clock, get to the line, and make your shots up.
Yeah, now, was that one on Duncan or was that one on Copeland?
Looks like it's going to be charged against Yari Duncan, his first. And Duncan, that was something that was his bugaboo last season, that he often got in the foul trouble right when he got into the course of the game. So now it's going to be Jaden Brown after missing the first foul shot, getting the second attempt. And he does knock that one down. BC with 16 fouls, Max Conception with 5, so it's going to be shots the rest of the way for the Lions. Looked like that time Richardson lost it in the air, but Johnny on the spot was Elliot Cadeau with the follow-up finish. Largest lead of the game, now 13, 60-47 BC, with 3:34 remaining in the fourth.
I don't know, Dan. I think that's exactly how the Crusaders drew it up. With, an off-the-back pass, overhead. It looked like a shot. I don't think it was. But, Crusaders ball once again, and the Crusaders have really pulled away in this fourth quarter.
Now we'll see if they'll try to take a little more air out of the basketball here as time is on their side with a 13-point lead. Coming up on 3:20 left to go in the fourth quarter.
And remember, with these shot clock rules, they can, take as much time as they'd like and really try to bolster this lead bucket by bucket or shot by shot.
Richardson missed the bunny attempts inside, but once again crashing the offensive glass was Yari Duncan, who gets hacked on his way up, so that'll send the senior to the line shooting a